Ancient Egypt Explained, from pharaohs and pyramids to daily life. Full history of Egypt, 3000 BC, 30 BC. Welcome to ancient Egypt, a land shrouded in mystery, where colossal pyramids rise from the desert like timeless sentinels. This is a civilization of profound history, where the gods walked amongst men and the lives of ordinary people intertwined with those of divine rulers. From the majestic pyramids to the bustling Nile, from the power of the pharaohs to the simplicity of daily life, today we embark on a journey back in time to discover the birth, rise, and eventual decline of one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever known. Our story begins in 3000 BC, when ancient Egypt was first united. Before this time, the land was divided into two regions, Upper Egypt to the south and Lower Egypt to the north. But around 3000 BC, a visionary ruler, King Narmer, united these two lands into one mighty kingdom. This unification laid the foundation for what would become one of the world's most powerful civilizations. The Nile River, often called Egypt's lifeblood, played a central role in their lives. Its annual floods left the land fertile, and its waters provided a way to travel and trade, connecting people across the vast kingdom. It was here, in this land of abundance, that the ancient Egyptians would build their legacy. By 2600 BC, Egypt was ruled by the Old Kingdom. It was during this period that the first pyramid was constructed, the Step Pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara. This pyramid marked the beginning of Egypt's obsession with immortality, as the pharaohs believed that their tombs, monumental in size and grandeur, would ensure their passage to the afterlife. However, it was the Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu, that truly captured the imagination of the world. Standing 481 feet tall, it was the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years. Over 2 million blocks, each weighing several tons, were carefully placed to create this engineering marvel. But why such grand constructions? It wasn't just about power. It was about divinity. The pharaoh was not merely a king, he was considered a living god. As the intermediary between the gods and the people, the pharaoh's tomb was a sacred space meant to ensure his divine protection in the afterlife. The pharaoh was not only the ruler of Egypt, but also the high priest of every temple. He held divine power, which he used to maintain balance and harmony, known as Ma'at. Ma'at was the cosmic order, and it was the pharaoh's duty to uphold it, ensuring the gods were pleased and the people were prosperous. The gods of Egypt were many, each representing different aspects of life. The most powerful was Ra, the sun god, who traveled across the sky in his boat during the day and through the underworld at night. Then there was Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and Isis, his wife, goddess of magic and motherhood. Anubis, the god of mummification, oversaw the preservation of the dead, ensuring their safe journey to the afterlife. As Egypt expanded its borders, the pharaohs made monumental contributions to religion, arts, and architecture. Temples dedicated to these gods were built all across Egypt, each one an expression of the pharaoh's devotion and their divine mandate. By the time we reached the New Kingdom, around 1550 BC to 1070 BC, Egypt was an empire. The pharaohs of this era were mighty conquerors, expanding Egypt's borders through military campaigns and forming alliances with distant kingdoms. One of the most famous pharaohs of this time was Thutmose III, often referred to as the Napoleon of Egypt. Under his rule, Egypt reached the peak of its power, controlling lands from the Nile to the Euphrates River. But it wasn't just military might that defined this period. It was also a time of cultural flourishing. Queen Hatshepsut, one of the few female pharaohs, commissioned grand building projects, including her magnificent mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. Her reign was marked by peace and prosperity as she sought to expand Egypt's trade networks. Then there was Tutankhamun, the boy king, whose tomb was discovered by archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922, revealing treasures beyond imagination. Though Tutankhamun ruled for a short time, his tomb has provided historians with invaluable insights into the wealth and grandeur of Egypt. While the pharaohs and their gods were at the top of society, the lives of ordinary Egyptians were just as fascinating. The majority of Egyptians were farmers, living off the fertile banks of the Nile. They worked the land, growing wheat, barley, and flax, which supported the population and fed the kingdom's need for trade. Craftsmen and builders played a crucial role in Egyptian society. From sculptors to weavers, the Egyptians were known for their remarkable craftsmanship. Their art, especially in pottery and jewelry, was intricately detailed and vibrant. Daily life was deeply connected to religion. Egyptians believed in the afterlife and devoted much of their time to ensuring that their journey to the next life was secure. Burial practices were elaborate, with mummification being a highly detailed and sacred process, overseen by priests and embalmers like Anubis. However, no empire remains invincible forever. By the time of the Third Intermediate Period, Egypt faced internal strife and external pressures. The Hyksos, a foreign Semitic people, invaded Egypt and ruled parts of the country for over a century. Though they were eventually expelled, Egypt's strength was never fully restored. In the following centuries, Egypt came under the control of foreign powers, including the Persians and later the Greeks under Alexander the Great. The last independent pharaoh was Cleopatra VII, who struggled to maintain Egypt's sovereignty against the growing power of Rome. In 30 BC, Egypt was absorbed into the Roman Empire, marking the end of the ancient Egyptian civilization. Though the civilization of ancient Egypt may have faded, its legacy lives on, in the pyramids that still stand, in the hieroglyphs that continue to tell their story, and in the enduring fascination of people around the world. From the mighty pharaohs to the daily lives of ordinary Egyptians, we've uncovered just a fraction of the remarkable history that shaped our world. The Nile, the pyramids, and the gods remain with us, a reminder of a civilization that changed the course of history.